Promotional support for Real New York is provided by Angelica Film Center and Heavy Light Digital. Angelica Film Center is proud to support this season of Real New York. www.angelicafilmcenter.com. And additional support from Heavy Light Digital, an American pioneer in digital transfer technology, preparing digital images for motion picture exhibition. The points of view expressed in the following programs are those of the producers.
Real New York, local independent film and video. This time on Real New York.
So our film consists of 3 separate personal accounts of September 11th.
The first section is from my perspective, as my wife and 7-week-old baby debate whether to run or stay and get the shot.
The second part of the piece is from my perspective as a resident of Chelsea, watching simultaneously out the window and on TV as the World Trade Center is attacked.
The last part of the film is my account of that night while skating through the streets of the city and my experience at Ground Zero.
The videos are all from our perspective, hence the title, First Person. You don't see us ever, but you sure do hear us.
It's 2001, with the little poops, Darrel, 6 o'clock in the morning. And he decided to wake up a little early today. Holy shit, man. What?
I just saw somebody fall.
What?
I just saw somebody fall. He was moving around and he was all scared and he was falling out the window.
How could you see somebody fall from here, baby?
In the right building. He fell out the window or something. Somebody fell out of something. You could see his arms and legs. He was flailing around. He was terrified.
He fell out of the building?
He fell out of the building. Can't you see the piece of metal? It's still falling or something.
This is insane. Well, I'm sure that there's all kinds of... Oh my God, look at that thing falling out of the side of that building. I don't think the building will collapse. I mean, the building is too well made. Baby, the World Trade Center is gone.
Anthony, what's this? We have to go inside. We have to go inside. We have to go inside.
Kira,
Anthony, this is all from this building.
Kira, the building is gone.
You can't see anything.
This is fucking crazy, man. The building is gone.
Anthony, get inside. Get inside.
Baby, what are we... Holy shit, man.
It's the end.
It's not the end.
Yeah, it is.
Man, those crazy, crazy, crazy bastards.
Why do they want to kill everybody?
Because they, I don't know, man, but that really, I don't know what to say. There's nothing that we can watch on television because there is no TV anymore.
We have to shut the window.
Holy Christ.
They want to minimize the amount of loss of life as much as possible. Again, I can also tell you that the entire nation is on a terrorist alert right now.
In the front?
Yeah, I think you go in the back.
We need... Okay. Who needs a mask? Come on, let's go. Thank you. Where are we going, by the way? We're just going to head north, I think. We've got friends on the Upper West Side. Okay. No, we're not going up there.
Are all you guys holding on?
Holy shit.
Are all you guys holding on?
Yeah.
Just in case there's a rumble or something.
This is just insane. Fuck, man! Oh my God! Oh, come on! That is so fucked up, man! That is so fucked up! Oh, God! That is horrible! Oh, God! What the fuck? Oh, Jesus Christ!
You see it there on the right? I see it.
What?
Let me just say that there.
There it is, right there.
I see it. And then it goes boom, right there. Watch.
That's
There it is.
You're absolutely right.
Oh my
goodness.
So I don't
God, how horrible! Fuck you!
Can we show that again, please? I
saw it happen, too.
I clearly did not notice that the first time.
Right.
I think we need to take a look at that again. It's,
The building and comes in from the left side, it appears.
it crushed.
Right.
And we have had eyewitnesses to it. Watch that. They took.
And now if you join me in a moment of silence.
Like, where's the army?
Well, everybody's life is going to change drastically today.
Oh my God.
Oh no, it just went down! I knew it would go down! Fuck, it's gone! Fuck, it's gone! God damn it! Oh no! Oh no!
What just happened?
Oh no!
The tower just blew up.
Oh no, it's gone! Oh God!
Let us have it this time.
Oh.
No, man, I'm just with the press. I'm just trying to get some footage, man.
Yeah, you gotta go back the other way. You can't
Yeah.
go through here. Yeah.
Going in, nobody like
No.
up on this way.
Everything going that way, right?
All right, man. Y'all be safe.
Next on Real New York.
As a filmmaker, I instinctively cope with September 11th by turning on my camera. People's reactions evolve from the initial confusion and horror to finding a way to bear witness and give support. As weeks passed, many sought comfort by draping themselves in the flag, making pilgrimages to the site, not only to witness the destruction from close up, but put themselves in the picture and take home a souvenir. My film New York Diary explores this evolution of events.
Basically, the city is pretty much shut down, except to pedestrians and emergency vehicles.
You can't go down this black trail, no, unless you got ID card, etc.
We don't know what's going on. Okay?
No, but I mean, I'd rather know that it's unsafe and I go somewhere else.
Please, I really need your cooperation in this.
In Washington, where the Pentagon was the target of one of the hijacked airplanes this morning, it's believed about 100 people were killed or injured when the American Airlines jet crashed into the Pentagon on the west side.
Like a volcano erupted. You ever see what in the movies we see a volcano erupt and all the ashes flying over? Cars are burnt out, buses are down. There's no electricity, there's no water. And there's an awful lot of dead people there that didn't even get out yet. They won't be able to get that out until they put all the fires out, secure everything around. So I'm going to have to start digging, try to get all the people out. Right now, we're just surrounding that last building that went down. What was that, 7? 7.
That was 7. Did you guys go in it?
No, you can't.
We didn't go in it. It's
totally down to the ground.
Water on it.
It's just a big pile of rubble, pockets of fire. You got it all surrounded by.
Is it laying up against the phone building? Laying up against the phone building?
Yeah.
Closed the 14th Street, so the paper may not be coming today.
used to doing this for like 15 years. And now I do all corporate stuff. Yeah.
The line is way back.
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Good. I thought it was just a Greek church.
Get that building.
We don't mind. This is nice.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
I asked you that.
What is that local?
Please step down, please, ladies and gentlemen. Please step down. If you all pick up with us.
Oh, thank you. Ticket, please. Is one? Somebody have this ticket?
Marie and Bev. Marie. Come on, we're going in here. Just line up. Carrie, let's go. Carrie, get in there. Ask him to take. Don't worry about it. Okay, let me get one like this. Right here, guys.
Yeah. Don't mind.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, we're out of here. Thank you. Excuse us.
Next on Real New York.
This work is an excerpt from a longer piece which is a meditation on various aspects of what's being called the war against terrorism. The tape suggests that the most provocative weapon of mass destruction does not belong to a rogue state in the Middle East. Rather, it belongs to those who shape political discourse in the U.S. and use the media to create an environment in which America is seen as the center of the world and war the only right and rational solution to our problems.
America was targeted for attack because we're the brightest beacon for freedom and opportunity in the world. And no one will keep that light from shining.
You want Bin Laden dead?
I want him held. I want justice. And there's an old poster out west, as I recall, that said "Wanted, dead or alive."
Can I ask you a question? Sure. Do you have any fantasies of retribution?
No.
None at all. None at all.
I would like peace. I would like peace. That's the retribution I would like.
Fantasies of our government changing their politics on a global scale. Not fantasies, hopes of retribution, certainly.
They have something coming to them, and I look forward to seeing them get it.
Do you have any thoughts on his particular fantasy, wanted dead or alive?
Hey, I'd rather for the guy to be dead, personally. Because if you leave him alive, you're going to just raise more people up to do the same thing all over again.
Are you sure that there's one person responsible for all that?
I think it's more people, actually. I think it's the, like Saddam, probably be more than that. Arafat might even have something to do with it.
Glad to see what paper you're reading?
Sure.
I want to know who is responsible for letting this happen, even if the people they say caused the problem. Where were the air traffic controllers? Probably Reagan fired them. That's why we didn't have enough. Where's the CIA and all those other agencies we've thrown billions or trillions of dollars at for 50 years who couldn't protect us? And now they want more money and more power, and then they'll protect us?
They have a reason for doing this, but if you don't go to find out why they come here to do it, you're not doing anything. If you're just going to go for revenge and attack somebody else, that's not gonna change your trouble.
I'll tell you how we should attack them. And we should drop butter and bread and housing and all the things they don't have on top of them.
It's just going to be more murdering innocent people.
I just hope.
That's all. Thank you.
I just hope we can all come to agreement, one accord, love each other.
Yes. And come to
and do the best we can.
Yeah, you're optimistic about that?
Answer that. Are you optimistic about it?
Yes and no.
I think it just really sucks that a tragedy like this will bring people finally united. Like war is the only time where we actually really do get together as one, But we are gonna go to war. But if not Bin Laden, then it's gonna be somebody else. And it's just not gonna stop.
place.
Go on, get out of here. You betrayed America.
Nobody's getting any sense of the casualties or the devastation from the media. I mean, look at how small this rally is today. Find out why we're protesting. Find out why we're protesting. Find out why we're protesting.
Spit on you! You ought to be ashamed of yourself! 3,000 people died!
Keep walking!
3,000!
Keep walking! Keep walking!
Next on Real New York.
Third World Newsreel called on filmmakers of color to document their community's reactions to 9/11. Homeland Insecurity is one of 17 videos that was produced.
We shot this piece in the aftermath of September 11th and the anti-immigrant, anti-Asian backlash and the war that followed.
We thought it was important to make a video about the various concerns within the New York City Asian community during this time.
The mainstream media wasn't dealing with these issues, so we did. That's what Third World Newsreel is all about.
We are doing this because we are fighting oppression to violence in all forms. We are against war. We have heard that there have been a lot of bias attacks going on against people from particular communities, the Arab American and the Muslim South Asian community. And we just feel that this is a chance to let people know that the Islam is not about violence, it's about peace. A few people use it for a different purpose, but that's not what it stands for.
We were very concerned, not only because of the victims of the disaster itself, but also about the anti-Asian backlash that we've been hearing about. Within 24 hours, we heard incidents of South Asian Americans who were being verbally harassed, who were being physically attacked, and already 2 South Asians around the country have been the targets of hate murders.
Not only South Asians, Arab Americans, Muslim Americans, but all immigrants, Latino immigrants, East Asian immigrants. And I think immigrant communities are currently living in fear.
We're now concerned in the future about his calls for war. We want to be sure that our community speaks out in solidarity with other Arab Americans, Muslim Americans, and others who have been targeted for racial profiling and hate crimes, but also to be sure that no more innocent lives are lost. We want to be sure that we take preventive measures so that there isn't the kind of racial backlash that's been going on.
And so the incidents against Sikh Americans and Muslim Americans, the scapegoating that is happening around the Wenhovi incident, I think all of this is really coming together, and we really need to kind of keep that in our mind, in our focus. Because a lot of times an initial reaction was, well, you know, we're not Muslims. don't hit us, or we're the good, the good Americans, and there's a desire for self-preservation, and it's understandable. But I think that one of the ways in which we can sort of send a positive and coalitional message is by really thinking through that this is a way in which all communities, Muslim communities, Arab American communities, Asian Americans, broadly and specifically South Asians, can sort of come together around ethnicity, but also faith as well.
A lot of colleges.
Since now South Asians and Muslims are going to be targeted more, I always knew that there was racism present in the U.S. and it was always underlying. I think the World Trade Center attack just ignited more racism and more discrimination. So it got me really scared because not only for myself, because I have never been really targeted for discrimination, but it got me scared for my community and South Asians in New York City.
We personally had gone through that during World War II, or prior to World War II, when they suspected us just because of our ancestry, that we were spies and all that kind of thing.
Lillian and I both lived on the West Coast and spent upwards of 3 years in the concentration camps out west.
I guess I'm just trying to fight my fear and think that, okay, fear is also an enemy, and you do whatever you have to.
It's going to change the nature of people wanting to welcome immigrants and sort of other people into America, and I think it's creating this whole issue of whether they can be screened or whether they should be allowed to kind of, enter into the U.S.
A greater intensity of the backlash against, frankly, all immigrants of color and people of color. We've seen that it's not just a phenomenon that affects one particular group, but anyone who is perceived to be foreign, someone whose loyalty can be challenged. And ultimately, if there is legislation of the type that we've heard being proposed in Congress, anti-terrorism bills, that's not only going to affect our communities, it's going to affect all Americans, and it's going to result in erosion of civil liberties. And that's what we really need to take action and fight against right now.
Certainly experienced it firsthand, what prejudice and discrimination can do to a nation.
We're all scared, but I'm more scared of maybe the local security agencies here than I'm scared of Bin Laden. Maybe somebody should put that out there too. Yeah, maybe I am more scared of people in this country than I am of the so-called terrorists. I mean, isn't that terror too, that to be scared, to be a citizen here, to be scared of people in your own country? I don't know.
Stay tuned for more of Real New York. Next on Real New York.
I found it so difficult to explain to my kids what had happened on September 11th. I wanted this piece to stand as a testament to how difficult it was for them to understand and for me to understand. I admired the way they adjusted their worldview to make room for what had happened. After the initial shock had worn off, they were able to describe it quite lucidly, without rancor, bitterness, or excessive fear. I learned from them how to assimilate it into my own life.
I think after like 5 minutes, it bumped into the building again, because it bumped into one building and then it bumped into the other building after 5 minutes. And a lot of people got injured. I learned about it at school, and they didn't, I don't know where the plane was coming from. And a lot of people got injured. And then, well, it fell down, and some people got hurt and died, but some people just got sick and had to go to the hospital. It was a very tall building. I know. And they've been working on it for a lot of months. It was the Twin Towers. There was gas in the plane, so it started a huge fire. After the thing happened, a lot of the airports closed. They didn't want that to happen again. But then also another plane by accident crashed. There's been a lot of sad things this year. I know, like, at some places there was pictures. I don't mean like at museums, but I mean like at the store. I saw a picture of it, but it looks like a photograph. So I guess that person who worked there went close to it and took a picture.
What was it like seeing pictures of it?
It was sad, but it was kind of good, because not good, but it's kind of good because you could get to know about it better, but not by going and looking at it, going near it and looking at it, but seeing a picture of it. It's less scary and it's less dangerous.
Next on Real New York.
It's an old Irish tradition to get together on the 1-month anniversary of someone's death and celebrate their life with storytelling and music. It's called A Month's Mind, and it's what I and about 200 other friends of Father Michael Judge did 1 month after he died in the World Trade Center attacks. One of the speakers was Tom Ryan, a New York City firefighter. In this excerpt, Tom describes the impact of Father Judge's death in the days immediately following September 11th.
Thank you very much. On behalf of my fellow firefighters who were lost on the 11th, I thank you for that standing ovation. Brendan asked me to come here tonight to speak about Michael Judge, because I relayed a couple of stories to him that I knew of Michael. I had met Michael in life. I more or less kept my distance from Michael Judge because I knew that Michael was a gay man and he was a priest. And I'm also a gay man and head of a organization of gay firefighters and EMS workers. And I never wanted to intrude upon his relationship with his church or in any way get him in trouble. On the morning of September 11th, as thousands of other firefighters were attending or converging on the area where the trade center was, I was down there too with a group of firefighters. And in the first of, I believe, 2 messages that I got from Michael Judge after his death, we were heading down Church Street and we came upon St. Peter's Church. And at the time when we were down there, it's very hard to describe. People ask you to describe what was going on down there. And in the last couple of days, I've thought about it, and it was such a devastating sight. And there was this dust and smoke in the air, and there was no color to anything. Everything was just this gray, just a non-color. And we came upon St. Peter's Church, and some other firefighters were standing there, and they said, the fire department chaplain is inside. And I said, makes sense. The fire department chaplain would set up his outpost in a church, and he would come out as we needed, or we could go into him. And in the second breath, the gentleman told me that the chaplain was dead. And literally felt like my knees got weak. And I asked which one it was, and he said, Michael Judge. So at that moment, we all just stopped and were stunned, and we said that we had to go inside and pay our respects to him. And in a world that looked completely gray and dark, we walked up the steps of the church and opened the doors, and there was color. The inside of the church had color. We started walking up the center aisle, and we could see the dirty footprints from the other firefighters who had come in, who carried him in there, and we saw some blood on the aisle. And we got up to the front of the altar, which was much like this. It's a beautiful old church, St. Peter's. And there laying before the altar was the body of Michael Judge. And it was an incredibly, incredibly beautiful sight. It was very sad. Everybody knelt and cried. But it was an incredibly beautiful sight. He laid there, very peaceful looking. He was covered in a sheet. He had his badge and his ID card on his chest, and he had his religious stole folded beautifully over his legs. And in a horrendous moment, it was a beautiful sight. It also sent a clear message to me of what the devastation was going to be that day, and seeing our fire department chaplain laying there dead. And we said a quick prayer, we cried for a second, we got up, and we had to leave the building and go look for our people. The second time that I believe Michael Judge sent me a message was the morning he was being buried from St. Francis of Assisi. That morning, that whole first week of this incident, we were pretty isolated in just going down to the site and working and just so worried about our fellow firefighters and the people we lost. We lost 5 people from my house alone. As you know, a tremendous loss that we experienced from the whole day. But that morning, that was one of the first times I had read an article that was written by some supposed reverends, Jerry Falwell and Pat Robertson, that blamed the events of September 11th on gay and lesbians. And I was furious, and I was just did a little ranting and raving in the kitchen of the firehouse, and then got my act together and went upstairs, got my uniform on, and went to St. Francis to pay my respects to Michael Judge. And as I was standing there in front of the church, the pallbearers from the firehouse next to me had carried his body out of the church and down the steps and then over in front of the firehouse, turned around and started heading back to the church. And then right in front of me, they faltered for a moment, and it seemed like they were going to drop the casket. So I just jumped out and grabbed onto the casket. And the fellow who was standing there jumped to the side. And it was such a message to me that here these people were trying to blame gays and lesbians. And here I was, a gay firefighter, and I was carrying my gay priest for his final trip through his church. And it was an incredible message, and if anybody can take anything from the September 11th Act, you need to take the fact that everybody counts. The world is a beautiful place. There is color in it, and that, you know, in the future, we'll never forget any of the people we lost. And one day we'll all be laughing in front of the firehouses again.
Stay tuned for more of Real New York. Next on Real New York.
When September 11th happened, the artist community in New York was looking for a way to go on. 1 month later, a painting performance of a large mural was held in New York's East Village by the artist Sandra Spannan. My film Searching for Sense translates this live performance onto film.
I've gotten so many emails with your thoughts, concerns, and
Dear
blessings.
Sandra,
Many
I
of
hope you
you
got my
have
email.
space
If
to
anyone
stay.
feels like they need a break
Oh,
at
we're
any
unable
time,
to act.
come on over. I have
Sandra,
floor
this
space.
is
and
my
it's
humble
very
way of
clean.
trying to be in touch and make sense of life.
Sandra, ich hoffe nur, dass du dich in
pass
deiner
this to everyone on your
Nachbarschaft
email list.
aufgehalten hast. Die haben aber keine Wolkenkratzer da. Als diese
In the
Idioten
sense that I
versucht haben.
believe in the values and principles of our Constitution and our
Weißt du,
people.
plötzlich
I am
redet
proud to
jeder
live in
mit
a
jedem,
society
tauscht
where I can hear
Gedanken
a
aus
voice like
und wieder
Larry
einmal
Skeeter,
zeigt sich, dass
Rush,
Katastrophen
Falwell,
leidlich
Bin
sind
Laden,
in
the
New
New York
York.
Times, and the Village
I know that you're all in the
I can have
process
my
of
own
getting back to what
worship
now
my
is
own
normal,
God.
and I'm
See,
glad that you're
prejudice
all
all
there.
over, especially in New York, the most diverse
Dear
place
Sandra,
on earth.
one cannot talk enough or have enough company to make one feel better. Everything I say, I wish I hadn't, and everything I feel, I wish would pass.
Shanti.
Sandra,
Shanti.
just got back from sailing. Very strange hearing it all go down when you're sitting in a boat in the middle of nowhere in the middle of the night.
Hi, Sandra.
Somewhat reluctant.
I'm very disappointed that you're circulating this letter.
Dear Sandra,
What happened on Tuesday is wrong, no matter what our country's foreign policies are, and shame on anyone who
Sometimes
tries to
feeling
justify.
totally helpless. With these feelings, I also found myself thinking of what was important to me and reassessing who I am. A clarity and resolve came over me, perhaps necessary to be able to continue
It's
on
time to
with my
speak up
life.
for the Americans
I
as the
love
most
what I
generous
do,
and possibly the
and
least
need to do it now
appreciated people
more
on
than
all
ever.
the earth.
I will resume
Germany,
teaching my
Japan.
acting workshop at Musical
Morning I
Theatre
went back
Works
to
next
work
Tuesday, October
downtown.
2nd.
There are no words to describe it. The smell is terrible. Just want to be silent.
loco.
Invited to a gathering on the waterfront in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. We need to be with and see one another.
I know better what I need to do today. I cannot stop the terrorists nor the
Allesamt.
American
Ich
government.
schätze, dass ihr viel über all das redet und dass die Meinungen sicher auseinandergehen. Ich wünsche jedenfalls ganz doll, dass so etwas
And the
nicht
shallow local
Many people in our town, us included, have put our national flag outside our house as a show of unity.
Sandra, te ruego que me
Dear
hagas
Sandra, I
saber
have
que
often
está
thought
bien
myself
para
speechless
muestra
and unable to
preocupada por ti.
concentrate on my daily
Un gran abrazo.
I pray it's not going to be a time of hatred, retaliation, or discrimination. Hopefully it's going to be a day of changing from military arms to artistic expression.
Visit Real New York online at www.13.org for filmmaker interviews, our film and video schedule, and resources for independent producers.
Promotional support for Real New York is provided by Angelica Film Center and Heavy Light Digital. Angelica Film Center is proud to support this season of Real New York. www.angelicafilmcenter.com. And additional support from Heavy Light Digital, an American pioneer in digital transfer technology, preparing digital images for motion picture exhibition.